I'm not worth
We
much,
can't stay
sir,
here.
but I can
It's
cook,
not
the
safe.
homeless
I
woman
know,
told
but we
the
have no
lone
choice
mountain
right
man.
now. We'll move at first
She
light.
said it with eyes that had forgotten how to hope, until the moment they met his. Harlan Blackwood never expected to find anyone on his land that morning, much less a woman trembling in the cold fog, her clothes thin, her face bruised by life more than weather. The mountains were no place for strangers, not in early winter, not with a storm creeping over the ridge like a predator waiting to pounce. He stood with his hunting rifle slung across his shoulder, boots planted firmly in the frost. A reclusive man, built from wood and stone, quiet, scarred, and self-reliant. He had chosen solitude after the world disappointed him one too many times. Up here, he owed nothing to anyone. Up here, he could pretend the past didn't exist. But then he found her. She held her hands together tightly, not in prayer, just trying to hide how badly they shook. "My name's Lena," she whispered. I'll work for food. For warmth. Whatever you need. I swear I won't cause trouble." Harlan studied her, not with judgment, but with the kind of cautious curiosity only a lonely man possesses. She wasn't a threat. She wasn't lying. She was simply broken. That, more than anything, made him pause. After a long moment, he nodded once. "Come on," he murmured. "Storm's coming." Lena followed him up the narrow trail, slipping more than once. Each time, Harlan offered a hand without a word. She took it with gratitude so quiet it hurt. Chapter 1. Two strangers, one cabin. Harlan's cabin wasn't much to look at. Rough-hewn logs, a tin roof, the scent of pine smoke curling from the chimney. But to Lena, it was a palace compared to the nights she'd spent on sidewalks and behind dumpsters. Inside, the warmth hit her instantly, like a long-forgotten embrace. "You can sit by the fire," Harlan said, pulling off his gloves. "I'll get you something to eat." But Lena shook her head quickly. "No, sir, please. Let me do it. I meant what I said, I can cook." He hesitated. No one had cooked for him in years. No one had offered him anything without wanting something bigger in return. Still, he nodded. Lena moved through the kitchen with surprising confidence. She wasn't fast, but she was methodical, washing her hands, checking ingredients, creating a simple stew from dried vegetables, beans, and a bit of salted meat. Soon, the cabin filled with a smell Harlan hadn't felt in years: home. She served him first, then sat across the table, waiting silently as he tasted the food. "It's good," he said. Her eyes glistened instantly, because nobody had complimented her in a very, very long time. Chapter 2. The shadows they carried. Days passed. Then weeks. Lena stayed, cooking and cleaning in exchange for food and safety. Harlan pretended he didn't enjoy the company, but the truth was obvious in every softened glance and every unnecessary repair he suddenly made around the cabin. But neither of them spoke much about the past. Until one night. The storm outside howled like a wounded animal. The fire snapped and hissed. Lena sat wrapping her arms around herself, staring into the flames as if they held memories she wanted to erase. "You don't have to tell me anything," Harlan said quietly, carving wood at the table. She nodded. But eventually, the words slipped out anyway. "My husband used to say I was worthless," she whispered. "When I finally ran, I thought freedom would be enough. But the world doesn't welcome women like me. I lost everything. My family wouldn't take me in. Shelters were full. I was alone." Harlan stopped carving. He knew that feeling too well. After his brother's betrayal and the lawsuit that destroyed his business, he'd left the world behind. People had shown him their ugliest faces. He had survived by closing his heart, brick by brick. He cleared his throat. "You're not worthless." She looked up, startled. "You work hard," he continued. "You don't complain. And you look people in the eye even when life's beat you down. That takes guts." For the first time, she smiled, small, fragile, but real. Chapter 3. The threat below the mountain. Lena slowly built herself back up. But danger has a way of finding those who try to rise. One afternoon, a truck growled up the dirt path, a place no stranger should be able to reach. Harlan went outside, tense. Lena watched through the window, her heart thudding painfully. In the driver's seat sat her ex-husband, Mark Reddick. "You hiding my wife up here?" Mark sneered. "She thinks she can embarrass me, ruin my life, by running away. But she's mine, and you better hand her over." Harlan stepped closer, his expression carved from storm clouds. "She's not your anything." Mark laughed. You mountain men think you're tough. But I know the law. And she's coming with me. Inside the cabin, Lena felt every old wound reopen. The fear, the shame, the helplessness. But then she saw Harlan's shoulders tighten, saw him position himself between her and danger, like a silent oath. You'll leave, Harlan growled, or you won't leave at all. Mark underestimated him. That was his mistake. When Mark tried to step out of the truck, Harlan slammed the door shut with one powerful arm, warning him with a glare that froze the air itself. Mark spat curses as he drove off, tires spitting gravel. Lena burst into tears the moment the truck disappeared. I'm sorry, she cried. I never meant to bring trouble to your door. Harlan stood in the doorway, awkward, unsure, but then he took a step forward and placed a steady hand on her shoulder. You're not trouble, he said. You're someone who deserves safety. And I'll fight for that. Chapter 4, Rebuilding Two Broken Souls. The confrontation changed them both. Lena began to laugh again, light, musical. Harlan found himself talking more, sharing stories he hadn't told anyone in years. She rediscovered her love of baking, filling the cabin with the scent of warm bread and cinnamon. And Harlan taught her how to chop wood, how to track deer, how to read the sky for storms. Two damaged souls were slowly stitching each other back together. One evening, as the sun surrendered to the mountains, Harlan handed Lena a small wooden carving, a delicate bird, wings spread. I made it for you, he muttered. Thought you might want something of your own. She held it to her chest. Harlan, no one's ever given me something they made with their own hands. There's a first time, he said gently. Their eyes met. Something shifted. Something quiet and wild and hopeful. Chapter 5, A Future No Longer Feared. Spring thawed the mountains. The world softened, and so did they. Lena's ex-husband was arrested after attacking another woman, a relief that lifted a shadow off her shoulders. Harlan went to the nearest town for supplies one morning, and when he returned, he found Lena sitting on the porch steps, brushing her hair in the sunlight. She looked peaceful. She looked like she belonged. He cleared his throat nervously. I was thinking, he said. You don't have to keep working for your stay. She looked down, heart sinking. Are you asking me to leave? His eyes widened. No, I'm saying. He inhaled deeply. I'd like you to stay because you want to, not because you think you owe me. Lena felt her throat tighten. I do want to, she whispered. I've never felt safe anywhere, until here. Until you. Harlan sat beside her, letting their shoulders brush. Then stay, he murmured. Stay and cook your amazing stew, and bake your bread, and laugh in this cabin until it feels alive again. And you? She asked softly. What do you want? He took her hand, rough and warm and trembling slightly. I want a life with you, Lena. A tear fell down her cheek, but this time, it wasn't from fear. Epilogue. The lesson their lives taught. Lena never called herself worthless again. Harlan never hid from the world again. Together, they built something stronger than shelter, stronger than survival, stronger than the ghosts that once haunted them. They built home. Their story became one whispered by neighbors, marveled at in nearby towns. The mountain man who found love in a woman the world discarded. The homeless woman who learned she was priceless in the heart of a man who thought he'd never love again. And on quiet summer nights, as fireflies blinked over the ridge, Lena would lean into Harlan's side, whispering, You saved me. And he would answer, with a rare, gentle smile. No, you saved us both.